I'm guessing the name Atai Ayi is one you remember from your childhood. Even if you don't, I'm sure you might have heard the name before, as any thief is now referred to as Atai Ayi. Also known as Raymond Ayi Ayete, he was born in Adabraka, Accra. Regarded as the most notorious armed robber in the history of Ghana, Raymond Ayi Ayete, popularly known as Atai Ayi, was arrested in 2005 while drying his clothes as his hideout in Teshinungwa. Atai Ayi, whose name became a household name and synonym for a hardened criminal, was reported to have engaged in several robbery attacks. Good day, loves. My name is Sonia, and you're welcome to another episode of Uncovered Truth. If you are new here, I post true crime and mystery cases here weekly, so if that's your sort of thing, please consider subscribing to Uncovered Truth for more videos. Getting into today's video, I will be narrating the rise and fall of the most notorious criminal in Ghana. Born Raymond Ayi Ayete, he had a normal childhood, but after his mom traveled to the United Kingdom, he stopped schooling. Later on in life, he became a taxi driver. According to those who knew him back then, he was very affable and respectful to his clients. However, Atai Ayi got involved in a gory accident on one of his journeys, which totally destroyed his master's car. After driving someone to a funeral in 1998 around Ekropon. This made him return to Accra, jobless and indebted. A friend then introduced him to one man who needed a skillful rider. He got a chance to meet his new boss around Flamingo in Accra, Ghana. Atai Ayi was shocked to hear the job description of his new job. His new boss was into car burglary. He stole and sold stolen cars from people. Atai Ayi first declined the offer, but somehow agreed because he had a pregnant wife to take care of at that time. Atai Ayi then joined the gang of thieves and became their driver. They will loot vehicles of people who go to the bank to carry out transactions. His first successful robbery was in 1999, where he, together with his gang, made away with a sum of 12 million Ghana cedis, present day 1,200, which was a very huge sum as at that time. As newbies in the business, they had no guns. However, on one lucky day, they found a gun in a police vehicle and took it since it would make stealing easier. The gang began robbing people in buses and hijacked cars on the streets, etc. He was rumored to have possessed charms that could protect him from gunshots. Atai Ayi was known to be a skillful driver according to the police records and could have starred in action movies should he have been in Hollywood. He could reverse a car at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour whilst on police chase, according to the police. He committed so many outrageous crimes. On one account, he and his gang monitored a reverend minister who had gone to the bank to cash out some money. They followed the man until he got to the church premises. They fired shots at him and made away with 6 million Ghana cedis. His face was put on billboards, and Ayi himself wanted his name to be used as a nickname for thieves. The police searched everywhere possible to find where he was operating and living. All his gang members were arrested or killed from the search except Atai Ayi. However, even the best criminals have a day when they will be captured. In 2000, the police began a manhunt. Ayi allegedly vanished anytime the police got closer to arresting him until he finally got arrested at his sister's house in Nungwa whilst drying clothes. He repeatedly begged the police not to kill him. Atai Ayi was detained on February 28, 2005, after being captured drying clothes at his elderly sister's house after a series of hide-and-seek encounters with the police. That was Atai Ayi's first arrest. While in custody, Atai Ayi claimed he was tortured and coerced to sign statements, which he claims some were not true. He also claimed that most of the witnesses who testified against him at his trial committed perjury, but he was happy to have been sentenced. He was later sentenced to 160 years with hard labor and is still serving his time at the Anchorful Maximum Security Prisons in Cape Coast, Ghana. Atai Ayi's story is a typical example of bad company corrupts good morals. Had Atai Ayi not met his friend, and had his friend not introduced him to a group of armed robbers, he wouldn't have probably ended up in prison. A few years later, after his incarceration, Atai Ayi found God. He is now a devoted, born-again Christian. Atai Ayi is now an evangelist at the Anchorful Maximum Security Prisons in Cape Coast, Central Region, where he is serving his sentence. The man whose name sends shivers down the spine of most Ghanaians is also a national leader of prisoners in the country. He champions the good welfare of prisoners and speaks for them. No matter how difficult things are, remember Atai Ayi, who still smiles and has hope for a better future. Comparing the world now and in the world before, I think Atai Ayi will not fall in the list of hardened criminals. But in those times, stealing was a very big deal, so that's how come he came up with the name the most notorious criminal in Ghana. If you've watched up to this part, I'd like to say a very big thank you. For those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and leave your suggestions and comments in the comment section down below. Until then, have a nice day and stay safe.